My name is Showkat Mukadam. I'm a Director of Legacy Fiduciary Service and Estate Planners. I'm pleased to have Shaykh Muneer Abduroaf once again here as part of our educational series and to talk on inheritance in Islam. Welcome, Shaykh.
Shukran for having me.
Good. Sheikh, obviously, in many cases, we also want to explain the rules with regard to deathbed situations in respect of divorce and inheritance. I think this is an important part, but a much neglected part. Could you possibly give us some insights into what the rules and regulations are in inheritance and divorce in this situation?
Inshallah, shukran for that. Generally, if a party is married, if a husband and wife are married to one another, and either party passes away, then they're entitled to inherit, unlike a Muslim husband and Muslim wife. However, there are instances where a divorce takes effect, where the husband issues the wife with a talaq. And in that instance, the talaq or the divorce in this example could either be a revocable divorce or an irrevocable divorce. If it is a revocable divorce, it means that during the waiting period, during the iddah period, the husband can actually revoke the divorce, they can reconcile, and they will be married again without a new nikah taking place. However, if it is an irrevocable divorce, it means that the husband does not have the right to revoke the talaq. And that would generally be in the instance where the wife has now divorced, the husband has divorced the wife for the third time. So that is a general rule. If it is irrevocable and the waiting period is still there, then the wife will not be entitled to inherit from the estate. If it is revocable, then the wife will be entitled to inherit from the estate of the deceased husband on condition that the waiting period has not elapsed. However, there is another situation which we are currently looking at, and this is where the husband is informed by a doctor that he is now about to die due to some diagnosis. So that is what is referred to in the fiqh as maradul maut, or at-talaq fi maradul maut. The husband has been informed that he's very ill, and due to this illness, normally a person dies within a number of days or within the next few weeks, and he subsequently dies. Now in that case, if the husband is informed of this, and he then divorces his wife, he then issues his wife with a talaq that is irrevocable, for example, the third talaq, the scholars have different in their opinion as to whether or not the wife will be entitled to inherit from the estate of her deceased husband in the event where the waiting period had elapsed, or in the event where the waiting period had not elapsed. Now, the Hanafi school of law or madhab is of the opinion, based on the jurisprudence and evidence, that in the event where the irrevocable talaq had taken place during the waiting period, that the wife will be entitled to inherit as long as the waiting period had not ended. So then she'll be entitled to inherit. But let's say the waiting period had elapsed. In terms of the Hanafi school of law, the wife will not be entitled to inherit. The Maliki madhab, however, or school of law, is of a different opinion. They are of the opinion that the divorced wife, who has been divorced irrevocably, will be entitled to inherit even if the waiting period had elapsed. And they go even as far as to say as even if she has remarried another person, right, and her divorced husband who divorced her has not yet died, and he subsequently dies after her remarriage, she can still inherit from the estate. The Shafi'i follows a more stricter approach, and they are of the opinion that once the divorce had taken place, it is an irrevocable divorce, then in that instance the wife would not be entitled to, or the divorced wife will not be entitled to inherit, and they don't distinguish between a deathbed divorce and an irrevocable divorce that applies under normal circumstances.
So I think it's important, what you're trying to say is that it's important to always note the madhab that you follow in your world instructions from that when it's critical, because that has different effects really.
Yeah, that would be quite important, because if you are instructing an Islamic institution or a qualified alim to then give an opinion within that Islamic distribution certificate according to a specific madhab, as we can see, the scholars have differed in this regard, and that could be the difference between a person inheriting or not inheriting.
Jazakallah for that, Sheikh. It's very valuable insight. Please contact Legacy Fiduciary Service and Estate Planners should you wish to explore this situation further.